Pops, odds are this year,
Yes.
2022, you're not going to get a card. Like, let's just level set. Like, you think you're going to get invoice price? No. You think you're going to get discount at the dealership? No. That being said,
Hey,
are
hey, what if I told you I could get you invoice price plus, I don't know, 4 or 5,000? Because that's
now
what you're going to get.
now we're talking. Our friends over at iSeeCars, they do a bunch of research.
Yes.
We really like that. It's great, the research that they do. They put out an article, very recent. It was titled "How to Get a Deal on Slow Selling Cars." So evidently, there are some cars out there that aren't moving quite as quickly as the ones that aren't even hitting dealer lots because there's pre-sold already. I
Yes.
thought we'd take the time today, go through the slowest selling cars, and those are going to be the ones you might be able to get a deal on, right?
Typically, one would suspect. But I must say, if I may,
Go for it.
they're saying that the average days on lot for new cars across the United States is 42.8.
There's no way that can be right.
Well, the reason it's not right is simply because dealers are advertising vehicles as being in inventory when they have either just been allocated to them and haven't been produced yet, or have been produced and are awaiting shipment to them. And so they're basing this on vehicles offered for sale, well, that aren't there. So it would make it appear as if the average days on lot are higher than they really are.
Yeah. So I guess just to like level set, the average amount of time that iSeeCars says, 40,
Yes.
42.8, 43 days. There's no way that could possibly be true because, like you were just describing, that being
Yes.
said, they're saying the Kia Rio
Yeah.
has been sitting on dealer lots for 219 days. That's one of the cheapest, most expensive cars out there right now. There's no way that's sitting around because wholesalers would go ahead and buy that new and sell it at the auction for more. We've seen such price appreciation. But theoretically,
if you were a Kia dealer
huh?
and you had Kia Rios sitting on your lot, your first call would be to Enterprise Rental Cars saying, hey,
You need any Kia Rios?
because they'll buy them. They're going to pay way too much for them as pre-owned cars at the auction. So why wouldn't they come to you and buy a brand new one?
Yeah, and I just did a quick search back on Join YAA, our car search. Shows 223 new Kia Rios within 500 miles of my zip code here. But then let's click on one. Let's see what we say that the days on lot is. Let's scroll down. 35. So we have the days on market at 35. iSeeCars has it at 219. I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. I just think that there's likely, if someone has a Kia Rio, they're probably just getting rid of it. Let's keep going through the list there, Dad, because maybe some of these actually, are sitting around for a little bit. I actually think one of them on the list is sitting around, but I think we both know why.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to sell them.
Okay, so let's go to number 10. Number 10 on the list is the Chevy Bolt. They're saying 109 days on the market.
Yeah.
That might be wrong because they're going to be on the market, off the market, because you can't even buy it because of the recall.
Yeah, I mean, a car like that's going to sit on a lot if you're not allowed to sell it. Okay,
That's true.
I know that most of their information is usually very, very reliable, but I just find it hard to believe that like a Mitsubishi Outlander Sport is sitting on dealers' lots for over 200 days, or even an Acura TLX. And I know that the TLX is not nearly as popular a vehicle as Acura would like, but they're not sitting on the dealerships for close to 200 days. They're just not. Nobody has that type of inventory level, even at an Acura dealership, where the cars are sitting that long.
So I just ran the Mitsubishi Outlander back on our car search, Join YAA. We have it at a 12-day market average. So let's take a peek at the slowest selling used cars then, Pops, because maybe there's something to the used cars. Although I imagine you're going to kind of say that 51 and a half days to sell used cars, maybe some not accurate information
And
right
that's
now.
about 9 or 10 days longer than what every other data source we've seen would suggest for typical days on lot for vehicles or days for a vehicle to turn. But I can understand why some of these cars might sit longer than others. And my suspicion would be, like in the case of the BMW M3, is because of what they're asking for it. that's an expensive car as a new car with a somewhat limited market. And as a used car, if suddenly the used ones are selling for more than the new ones,
Yeah.
it probably takes a little longer to convince somebody, hey, you need to really, really overpay for this used one with 36,000 miles that God knows how it's been driven since it's an M series. So I think there could be some validity to these numbers simply because of how much these cars are the asking prices for most of these cars.
I just ran it just to let everyone know.
Yeah.
I pulled up on Join YA. 13 days, the average time to sell here, 500-mile range of Washington, D.C. on used BMW M3 sedans. So, maybe. The other ones they have on the list, Subaru BRZ, that they're saying takes 90 days to sell, Honda Passport, Mitsubishi Mirage G4. We know the Mirages are like super hot commodity right now because of their cheaper price point.
Yes.
Volvo XC60, Land Rover, Range Rover. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the Mitsubishi Mirage, okay, that they're saying takes 83 days. And if I'm not mistaken, a month or so ago, they did a report on the used cars that have appreciated the most in value as used cars. And number one on the list was the Mitsubishi Mirage, because the asking price was significantly higher than what it had been as a brand new car, like 50-some%. I don't know how you can have both. Okay, I want to say that those two things are, in fact, mutually exclusive. Okay?
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
You can't suddenly say that as a used car, the Mitsubishi Mirage has increased 50% in value. Oh, and it's also one of the slowest selling cars when it comes to used cars, so that you might be able to get a deal on it. Well, how could that be?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's put a pin in it then, Dad. There are no deals in January. There are no slow selling cars in January. They tried. We got to give them credit. They tried. And if you use the if you go to the website, joinya.com, and you search for cars there, you can see what the day's supply of inventory is in your area, aka how long it takes to sell out of supply. You can see how long that particular car has been sitting on a dealer's lot. You can see how many have been sold in the past 45 days. So, all that data is there. It's just interesting to see. This came up. I subscribe to their news alerts. So, I saw the alert. I was like, oh, cars you can get deals on in 2022. We just pressure tested it live, with one another, and probably not, unfortunately.
What? Hey, I don't know. I'm just trying to apply some common sense to it.
Hey, well, I appreciate that, and I think everyone else that watches as well. We'll link to it down below. Take a peek and use our car search. I think it's a really valuable resource for you.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me pontificate.
Thanks as always, Pops. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you, handsome.